Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm your host, Jim Goddard. We're speaking with Jim Pettit. He's the CEO of Aben Resources. Welcome back to the show, Jim.
Thank you very much.
You just put out a news release. Can you tell us what's in it?
Well, we put out a news release yesterday, basically discussing some of the aspects of the visual content of the core. We don't have any assays back. We basically announced that we had extended the drill program. We're getting close to the end, and it might even be over now. I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything. But it's the visual content that's got the market kind of moving. GT Gold put out a news release last week. It was more of the same spectacular results that they came out with a while back. And it's pushed them up to about 160, 170 million market cap from the days of when they were 30, not too long ago. And they were talking extensively about the visuals it's helping them guide the drill program. And, you know, they've got a lot of chalcopyrite and oxides and the relationship between it all. And the relationship between the gold content with the copper content in a simplistic explanation. So if you have elevated calco, it's easy for a geologist to sort of guesstimate what the content would be in terms of copper. And in this environment that they're in, and very similar to what we're looking at, you also have a relationship with gold. So if you have elevated calco, you'll have elevated gold values. And they can confirm that when they get their assays back, and you can look at the mineralization off the assay sheets, and you can see a relationship and correlation between mineralization for copper and mineralization for gold. And by simply following that visual reference, they can stay within the zone and continue their success. And when I saw that explanation, and I was up there not too long ago looking at our core, and it looked remarkably similar, and so we figured we better put something out along those lines, because the phone calls coming in, what does your core look like? You know, it's got a lot of attention. So we did. We put out something similar to that, basically stating that yes, you have elevated copper in the core, be it chalcopyrite. We're hoping that we will have the elevated gold, and you know, that remains to be seen when we get our assays back, and we're hoping they start coming in within the next week, maybe two. But that's basically the gist of why we put that out. There was so many calls coming in, wanting to know, can you relate to what they said? Yeah, we can.
Where is this drilling taking place?
We're this is in the Golden Triangle, northwestern portion of British Columbia. It's the beneficiary. This region is a beneficiary of a tremendous upgrade in infrastructure over the last several years, and there's even power plants on the Iskut River now, run-of-river plants that are powering the whole northwest quadrant of BC. Paved highway going right up beside the whole area, and a beautiful road that goes in off the highway, built by AltaGas when they were building the facilities. So, and they've left their camp there, so we can utilize their camp, and it's more like a great big hotel.
Jim, the federal government's announced a $250 million program to build a better highway system into the Yukon to help out the mining industry. Will that help you as well?
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned that. It's more like $350 million is what they're committing to the Nahanni Range road on the very eastern side of the Yukon, and then the Yukon Range that would take it up to Western Copper and Gold, that area. It opens it all up. And it's going to increase the accessibility dramatically, which will bring down costs for exploration and mining. Our Justin property, which is one of the three properties we have in Aben Resources, is located in the Nahanni Valley. And to access it, we use the Nahanni Range Road, which follows the Nahanni River. And you've always got bridge issues, et cetera, et cetera. Initially, that road was used for hauling from Cantung to get it down to Watson, I guess, and then over or over the Campbell Highway heading west. It's going to be a tremendous gift. And then eventually I assume they'll follow that with power, and the power, eventually one day could be hooked up, extending up from BC with the new power line and everything they built, basically all the way up to Dease Lake.
Can you give us some background on Aben Resources? What do you do? Where are you based?
Well, Aben is primarily a gold exploration company. We've got 3 very good projects, all drill ready. It's a question of the time of year that we want to get into them. So right now our flagship is really the Forrest Kerr project in the Golden Triangle in British Columbia, because that area has so many players in it. It's an area play. There's an awful lot of work going on up there. And it's, that project, we had a massive database. We put 3 properties together, and then we basically took the data and put it together on a regional format where we had basically about 100 holes and 20,000 soil and rock samples, and we just put it together and created a regional compilation study. And it's given us quite a series of targets, and we prioritized them. So this is our first year. We've started with 2 of the primary targets that were keyed in on high-grade gold historic numbers. We've gone in to confirm them and try to find the extension, see if they extend, actually, because they haven't been worked for many, many, many years. And since then, there's a lot of new technology and infrastructure to work with now. The other property is Justin. It's up in the Yukon. It's right at the end of the boom up there in the Yukon. We made a greenfield discovery. It's sort of a intrusive. It is an intrusive related gold system that we've discovered, and has the potential for large low grade and also very high grade hydrothermal events. It's tied on to Golden Predator, and we can see that they're going after the high grade hydrothermal events. Could all be related to the same intrusive. And then the third property is in Saskatchewan, just south of the old Claude Resources mine, which Silver Standard has now bought and paid $338 million for it. So we're just south of there. And Silver Standard's basically taken all the ground between us and the old mine, and they're using that for exploration this year. There's a fire issue right now, so they're not working. But they're committed to spend, I think it's about $7 million on exploration, and as well as now operating the mine site. We have a target area there that's very interesting. It's got a permit. We can drill it this winter after the Forrest Kerr Golden Triangle area settles down due to winter conditions. It's actually better to be in there, northern Saskatchewan, in the winter. It's just south of the Athabasca Basin.
Jim, what platforms is Aben traded on?
We are traded on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol ABN. We're U.S. OTC Pink Sheets, ABN AF, and Frankfurt E2L2. And
how can people contact you?
They can contact me at through the website www.abenresources.com or info@abenresources.com, or call me direct 604-687-3376.
Jim, thanks for the update.
Anytime. Thanks.
We've been speaking with Jim Pettit, CEO of Aben Resources, on September 6th. I'm Jim Goddard.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.